Hi everyone, this is Dave from DailyTechTV and welcome to the Q&A session for Tuesday 3rd of May 2011. Now before I kick off this Q&A session, I want to let you know what I'm using to actually record this. This is being recorded on the Nikon D5100 digital SLR camera. Now you will have seen me do an unboxing and product tour on the channel, hopefully by now already, but certainly this session's being recorded with the camera. I've set it to single focus mode, so I've just focused in once on where I'm sitting because I'm not moving around too much, so hopefully the focus will stay in sync. Also it stops it from continually searching for focus, and I'm using the built-in microphone. I've set the levels to auto, so for those of you interested in the Nikon D5100, you're going to get a good idea in this video as to how it performs. Now this Q&A session, this is where I answer questions that you've either posted on a previous Q&A session video or that you've sent me via my iPhone app. So nothing's pre-rehearsed, I'm just going to answer these off the hoof, so to speak. Let's get on with the Q&A. Now, the first one comes from GSD4U, and GSD4U is asking what monitors I'm using behind me. I've got two monitors here. They're both IAMA monitors, and they're the E2472 HDs. So they're called IAMA Pro Light E2472 HDs. They're 24-inch monitors, 1920 by 1080. They work absolutely superbly, LED backlit, and I've been very happy with them. So certainly recommended. They're probably not as colour accurate as some monitors, but I've been really pleased with how they've been performing. So thank you very much for that question. The next one is from We Speak Apple. Hi Dave, my question is related to Apple prices. Do you think there is any real justification to them? Taking a look at the Mac Mini, £612 in the UK for what is old technology. It can surely cost no more than £300 to £400 to build, so why such a high RRP? Well, you're right, it is expensive, the Mac Mini, for what it is, but you are getting a quality Apple product. You say it probably costs £300 to £400 to build. Well, a company has to make profit after shipping, and if they ship them out to a dealer, the dealer has to make profit as well. So they have to build in a reasonable amount of margin for somebody to make money along the way. I do sort of agree with you, it is a little bit overpriced. I would like to see something like the Mac Mini coming down to round about the £499 mark. I think that would be absolutely superb, but I'd rather pay a premium for Apple kit. That's my choice, it's not for everyone, but I certainly don't mind paying that little bit extra. Next question is from Claudio790. Drinking tea or coffee, Dave? Used to drink a lot of coffee, got the shakes, and now I've switched over to drinking tea. I drink a mix of normal sort of tea and also a lot of green tea as well. So I hope that answers your question. Next one is from Adams Bill 1. I changed a hard drive in my new MacBook Pro. Does that mean the warranty is void? Get asked this question a lot about changing memory and hard drives in Apple laptops. If you change a hard drive or memory, it does not void the warranty. Let me just explain. If you open up your MacBook Pro, the user accessible parts, so the parts you're allowed to touch, are the hard drive and the RAM. You can upgrade those. If you do it, it doesn't void the warranty in any way at all. Having said that, if you try and fit the memory or the hard drive in the wrong way and you snap pins or connectors inside your laptop, then that will void the warranty. Apple won't touch it. They will say you broke that whilst you were installing memory or a hard drive. But if you fit it in properly, you take due diligence and you're careful when you're installing it, and you find that it doesn't work and you swap it back over for the original part, no problem at all. No problem at all. So next one is this is similar to the previous question about the Mac Mini, but it comes from John T1512. Controversial question. Do you think Apple's European pricing policy is unfair? For example, Mac Mini $699, £430 in the UK. UK price is 612. And he goes on to give some more examples of something like the iPad 2, $499, 307 in the UK equivalent, but it costs us $399. So it's as though we're paying almost £100 more. What I always say to questions like this is, if you take that straight conversion, using the iPad 2 as an example, $499. Well, yep, that does convert over to £307. But we have to add value-added tax, an extra 20%. So that's about an extra £62, which takes it to $369. So the difference already is only £30. So if you add on a little bit for shipping costs, because Apple aren't based in the UK, you might add on an extra £10–15. That makes the difference even smaller. And then at the other end of the equation, John T, you said about the iPad 2 price being $499 in America. Well, that price doesn't include sales tax. Sales tax varies between states in America. I think the rough average is round about 8%. So if you added that 8% on, that's going to come out around about $550. Suddenly, that gap seems to sort of disappear. So yeah, there is a slight difference, but taking all those taxes into the equation, I hope that sort of helped clear up the issue for you. And I get this question a lot, and it is all to do with the sales tax and some import costs as well. So fantastic question. Let's move on. Not a question, but PC Gamer Guy 1234 says, loving the hats. Thank you very much. I'm not sporting a hat today. The hair and hats combo make you look a bit like Jason Bradbury. I've got that comment so many times since putting up the video where I changed my look a little bit. All I would say is, Jason Bradbury, you look like me. It's not the other way round. So I think Jason, I can't even say it now, Jason should change his look and not me. So anyway, moving on. Dave, what earphones, in-ear, not over the ear, do you use on a daily basis? What do you recommend for around €40 price range? Let me just turn round. I'm not even sure what model number these are, but these are some Sennheisers, and this is what I use all the time. So these are the Sennheisers I use. They're the Adidas ones, if that helps. I think they might be OMX80s. I'm really not sure, but I use Sennheisers on a daily basis for my in-ear earphones. So thank you very much for that question. Hey Dave, great video. Hey Dave, great video. This is from Sean's Macintosh. Don't go Nikon. Go with the T3i 600D. Has awesome warranty service. 2 questions. If you won the lottery, got £1 million, what would you do with the money? If money was no object, what would be your ideal setup? Really easy to answer. If I won £1 million, I would give a lot to charity. I would set up some projects and schemes to help sort of young people discover their creativity. I would probably also set up something similar to what I'm working on at the moment, which is like a new video project called visbox.tv, and I'll be telling you a lot more about that over the coming months. I can't tell you anything more than that at the moment, but I would set up some sort of video project so that loads of people could get involved and deliver great content out there, similar to what I'm doing now but in a different way, and I would certainly put some money into that. If money was no object, what would be my ideal setup? I'm pretty happy with the setup I've got at the moment. I think the main things I would change is, it would, instead of being the base end Mac Pro that I'm using, I would buy a high-end Mac Pro, a couple of 27-inch Apple Cinema displays, and also I would invest heavily in a real pro camera setup, and a proper studio. So like a studio where I don't have to move things around. I can just walk into that room and deliver you videos without having to set up all the lights every single time I want to record. That's probably what I do. So that's a great question. Thanks very much for that. Next question is from Sam67 UK. Are you going through a midlife crisis, Dave? What a mean question. I don't know why I'm even answering that one. No, I'm not. I've just turned 40. Really enjoying what I do with the YouTube videos. Thought it was time to not be so scruffy, so I just had a haircut basically and just tidied myself up, bought a few new clothes, really enjoying doing the YouTube videos. That's a really mean question. I'm not going to say any more on that subject. Next one is from Cheyenne Ijaz. Which do you prefer, matte screens or glossy screens? I personally think that matte screens are better, but then why do companies use glossy screens? Is there an advantage? I've got no sort of preference now, really. The glossy screen I've got on my MacBook Pro is fine. With regards to light reflections, I can just alter the angle round, sort of turn it to a different angle. It's not a big issue. My main screens on the desktop are matte, but that's just because that's how they came. For a TV, I would probably not choose a glossy screen. I would choose a matte screen. I've got a matte screen on the Sony one over there, and my main Sony is a matte screen because I wouldn't want to be moving around a big screen to deal with reflections. But why do they use glossy screens? Well, the contrast and the amount of punch or sort of colour saturation that is achievable with a glossy screen is not possible with a matte screen. It tends to mute tones and colours a little bit more. You still get good colour accuracy with both, but for the consumer a glossy screen would be more appealing because colours seem to come out at you more. But no, there's no real advantage one over the other. I used to always have matte screens on everything, including my laptops, but nowadays it doesn't really affect me at all. I think if I was still doing graphic design and colour accuracy was at the real priority on my list, I would probably still go with a matte screen and something that's colour calibrated, so it would be involved in spending a lot of money as well. So thanks very much for that question. Next one is from Arrow1 Archer. Why do you use a camcorder to record reviews when DSLRs are much better? Well, that's a very appropriate question. I always use, I'm just going to grab it here actually, I always use for all of my videos really my Panasonic HDC SD700. Now I know what you're saying about DSLRs, they are meant to deliver a lot better video quality, and I was actually just writing an article about this for Digital Rev about whether video really belongs in DSLRs. Now I agree with you that a DSLR like the Nikon 5100, or sorry D5100 like I'm using to record this video, does record a better, more detailed video quality, but I'm a one-man band. I do all of my production, all of my recording myself, so I need to be able to rely on something focusing in on the right points. I don't even know what this video is looking like at the moment until I get it onto my Mac Pro to edit it. Also, DSLRs don't do a great job at continual autofocus. The D5100 has got that feature, so if I was moving closer or further away from the camera it would try and refocus, but I found that when I've got that feature enabled on the D5100 it searches for focus all the time, so I've turned that off. So the autofocus features that are built into this are much better for me than having to deal with the DSLR. That said, with a bit of sort of experience, getting used to the DSLR as well, I might find a happy medium where I'm managing to focus in on where I want to focus, or perhaps at some stage I might be able to get somebody behind the camera for me, so that if I'm moving things around and putting products up close to the camera, for example, there you saw a shift there where the metering goes differently because I haven't locked the exposure. I don't have to deal with that on this, but if I had a cameraman, then they would be dealing with the exposure and maybe setting it to manual focus and adjusting the focus accordingly. So yeah, that's a really good question. I do agree that they create better quality video, but for a one-man setup for ease of use, I still use the camcorder. But maybe things will change after this video. As you know, I'm using the D5100 to record this. If everything turns out well, I might well stick with it. Next question is going to be from the iPhone app. I'm going to switch over now. Switch my screens over. So I've got a few questions coming via the Geekanoids iPhone app. This one is from Bassam. Forgive me if I don't pronounce your name correctly, but Bassam sent in a question. I was wondering just how to get anything showing from my iPod Touch 4th generation onto the TV screen. Well, I think there are a couple of ways of doing this. One is to buy an AV dock, audio video dock, that would have a video output on the back of it that you connect to your TV screen, and then when you dock your iPod, you would be able to see that on your TV screen. The second way is that Apple released the HDMI video adapter for the iPad 2, but I believe that that works on the iPod Touch as well. I'm not 100%, but I believe it works on that latest gen iPod Touch. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if that is the case, you could plug that in, HDMI lead from the adapter to your TV, and then you're getting a picture on your TV. And the last way is if you invest in an Apple TV, which I believe at the moment, at the time of doing this video, are available on Amazon for under £90 in the UK. Not sure about the US. If you've got an Apple TV, you can use the AirPlay feature and actually get movies and video across from your iPod Touch to your Apple TV, and then they'd appear on your TV screen. So that's another way of doing things. So thanks very much for that question. Next question is from Christian. What are your predictions for the next iPods and iPhone? Wow, well, not sure with the next iPods, other than I think they might just change the design so they're flatter on the back like the current generation of iPad 2. iPhone 5, I think they're going to be concentrating a lot more on the operating system. Multi-touch gestures for multitasking, I think they would include. I think they do something different with the way notifications are handled, and I also think there'll be a design change as well. I think they will introduce the same sort of back that we see on the iPad 2, so that the whole range of iOS devices are very similar in form factor. With regards to the screen, not really sure what they do with the screen. They might make it a bit bigger, but my prediction is it'll probably stay the same. So thank you very much for that. And the last question that came in just recently is from Daniel. I'm a big PlayStation fan. Please bring some coverage over the PSN hacks onto the channel. Well, what can I say? Just yesterday, let me see if I can find it actually, I got an email from Sony detailing about the recent hacks that have happened on the PlayStation network. Here we go. Service update, important information. We have discovered that between April 17th and April 19th 2011, certain PlayStation Network and Curiosity, I can't even pronounce the word, service user accounts information was compromised in connection with an illegal and unauthorised intrusion into our network. And then they give a response. Well, it says between the 17th and 19th of April. As far as I know, that was probably the date that the hack occurred. PlayStation Network has been down for around a week now, so they've taken a long time to respond to this and send out the information. So they've turned off the services temporarily. This is their response. They've engaged an outside security firm to conduct a complete investigation. They've quickly, I don't think it was quick enough, but they're saying they've quickly taken steps to enhance security and strengthen our network infrastructure by rebuilding our system to provide you with greater protection of your personal information. I think it is really bad that this happened. The sort of information that's gone out, and this has happened to my account, so I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, all of this information's gone out to somebody. The information that has possibly been got hold of is name, address, including postal code, country, email address, birth date, profile data, purchase history, billing address, and it also includes credit card. It says if you have provided credit. Yeah, here we go. If you have provided credit card data through the PlayStation Network, to be on the safe side, we're advising that your credit card number, excluding security code, and expiration date may have been obtained. This is just really, really bad. For the hacker, they're probably celebrating. For the people that have been affected, it's really worrying that this data is out there now and what they're going to do with it. And you can't even at this stage log into your PSN account to remove your credit card details. Are Sony doing that for you? That question remains unanswered. I think that they need to keep everyone up to date, maybe with daily or every other day updates as to what they're doing to resolve the situation. So that was a great question, Daniel. Thanks very much for posing that one. That's it for this Q&A. There will be another Q&A on the Daily Tech TV channel in a couple of weeks. Before I sign off, a quick update for you on the Geekanoids channel and the Daily Tech TV channel. On the Geekanoids channel, I normally publish a video every day. That might not happen in the future. I might be reducing it to either 5 or 6 videos a week instead of the full 7. That's just because I'm so busy on these other projects. The Daily Tech TV channel is now a partner channel. Thank you very much for all your support on the second channel that you're watching this video on. That is great. It means I earn a little bit of revenue from the videos on this second channel as well. I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into Daily Tech TV channel to bring you these Q&As regularly. I've also started doing daily video diaries using some of the video cameras I'm testing, so I'm hoping you're enjoying that footage too. With regards to the Q&As, couple of weeks for the next one. Please make sure you leave your questions in the comments on this video, or if you've got my iPhone app, you can get the questions over to me via the iPhone app. If you want to use plain and simple email, geekanoids@gmail.com. That's geekanoids@gmail.com. You can get your questions for the Q&A sessions to me via email. Just put Q&A question or Q&A session in the subject line and fire away with your tech related questions. Until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.